Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to, welcome to a new series with Lone Debater 7. This time, we're going to be playing Hydroneer. So, I got this game a little bit ago, played a little bit on my first save here just to kind of get a feel for the game, the mechanics, things like that. And I gotta say, I really enjoy the game. It's really cool. It's kind of the style of game that I like to play. And I thought, well, why not share that with my YouTube community? Because I have a feeling if you enjoy like Factorio, Astroneer, Dyson Sphere Program, any of those types of games, this game might also tickle your fancy. It's kind of like an automated mining game, so the goal is to mine dirt, so like you'll mine this dirt over here, turn that dirt into ore, shards, and gems, and then sell what you mine, or you can also craft with that stuff to make better items and stuff. You sell all the resources you gather up to the town basically and make money. You use that money to buy stuff to automate the gathering and production of things, and then you sell and rinse, wash, repeat. There's also like Easter eggs, hidden areas, areas to expand. There's logic in this game, so like if you're familiar with digital logic, you can digitally logic your entire factory and automation. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. A lot of areas where you might get to a point where you're like, okay, I've got this piece of the game down pretty well. What do I do next? I'm hoping that this series can provide you some insight or tutorials into how to progress and how to unlock more content that the game has to offer. So like how to automate things, how to sort things, how to smelt things, how to sell things, that kind of thing. So if you're looking for a guide to the game, this is the right series. If you're looking for a playthrough, this is also the right series because I'm going to do my tutorial as a playthrough on a fresh save. So let's go ahead and dive in, stop talking here. Alright, so you spawn in right here. You've got a nice handy dandy shovel, which I'm just going to take over here real quick. Okay, cool. You've got a brush. You've got a pan. We're just going to drop that in, fill it with water real quick. And you've got a bucket. So if you're new to Hydroneer, the mechanics of this game are a little bit different from others. You don't have like an actual inventory. You just have what you can hold in your hand and what you place on the ground for the most part. So there are internal buffers. So like this can hold water, for example. This could also hold water. If I pick this up and click my left mouse, it will dump the water out. I'm not going to do that because I don't need to. This is a brush. It's a tool. You use this to clean dirt to get ore and stuff. You use your shovel to dig the dirt. You put that dirt into the bucket. You can get some shovels in there. Bring it back. Put it in the pan and brush away, and you'll get some resources. So starting out, you've got this big old plot of land, plus the piece that's back behind this bridge here. That you can mine out and kind of harvest. So like this little embankment right here, you can't dig, you can't really mine this, but if you kind of see the texturing kind of changes, like this kind of like sinks in a little bit and is a little bit different color. So that like line right there is kind of the boundary of where you can dig. So what I'm gonna do, first things first, is grab my trusty shovel, or actually that isn't first things first. First things first, grab my trusty bucket, bring my bucket on down here. Then I'm going to take my shovel and I'm going to dig some dirt. Click the bucket to put the dirt inside of the shovel. Make sure that you've got this orange thing highlighted when you click, otherwise it'll just place the dirt where the bucket is. So it can only hold 4 with the basic shovel. So I'm just going to fill up the bucket and then I'm going to dump all of that into our pan. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do this maybe 2 more times. That way we can generate a little bit of starting cash, a little bit of resource, and kind of keep on progressing through. Because to automate stuff, you need a little bit of money on you in order to do that. So we've got a piece of iron ore now, so we could just go sell that and get probably like 20 bucks, something like that. Or we can keep on filling up the container with water, putting the dirt in, using our brush, and then you'll get more. So now we've got 2 iron, 1 gold, so that's worth a lot more than just 1 nugget. These containers, it's actually pretty cool with this game. So you can fill them by picking them up, dropping them, so you can fill them with water, but the contents of the container doesn't fall out if you drop it. So like if I were to throw that and get it to roll down this hill, even if this like tips over, so like that, it still has the water in it. So if I put it back up here on flat ground, there's still water inside. It did drop out the dirt, or well, we don't have dirt, but it has all of its contents. So it stores its contents. It does. So this game also is, you know, still in development. Like there are regular bug fixes, patches, all that kind of thing. So some like it can be a little bit resource intensive, and sometimes things break randomly because of the physics engine that they use. So like that gold should have stayed inside of this bucket, but since this was on a weird slanty piece, it didn't. But like there. Now it's inside, it'll be inside until I take it out. So we're gonna just do this for a little bit and gather up some starting cash. The thing to note, when you're at this phase of the game, you might think, well, I've got this huge area with a bunch of topsoil. Why don't I just mine out all the topsoil? Because topsoil is not going to hold as many resources as the soil that's farther down. There is a lower limit to this plot, so there's bedrock down at the bottom. If you mine down or dig down to the bedrock and gather your dirt from the bedrock layer, or just above the bedrock layer, you will end up getting more gold, more gems, more shards, more everything. So it is worth digging down a little bit. Like, you still get stuff usually from the top layer. It's just you would have gotten bigger size nuggets or bigger size gemstones or whatever it is if you were digging deeper down. Or you have the potential to get bigger. It's I think it's like RNG based on what you get as far as a drop goes. The farther down you are in the soil depth, the better modifier you have on that RNG roll for what it's going to produce when you brush it in the pan or process the dirt into resources. So just bear that in mind. Anyway, that's all technical stuff. This is pretty basic. If you've played Hydroneer before, this is pretty much what you do. You gather up a little bit of starting cash. That way you can go upgrade your tools. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to try to get enough money to upgrade my shovel. And I also want to get a water intake pipe, and then an elbow, a valve, and a couple of straight pipes. That way I can go through and get this filling of the bucket automated. So I don't have to drop it into the river every single time in between processing, and then I'll change how I gather resources. So I'll show you what that means in a minute. I'm also going to see if we gather up enough when we go and sell. I might try to buy a pickaxe and a couple foundations or slopes. That way I can dig down to the bottom and just build my pipe out to the bottom of our first mine and, you know, start gathering the good stuff right away. It does depend on how much money you get. At this stage, we're not turning our nuggets into bars or ingots, so we're not getting the full amount of money out of this. Like, if we were to smelt all these things down, we'd be making a lot more money. So it'd be good to get a smelter set up as well, or buy a smelter. That's pretty expensive though. Like, I think you need a couple hundred coins in order to buy a smelter. So yeah, we're gonna have to see if we've got enough in this first haul or not, which we might. I mean, we've got a decent amount of gold and iron in there, honestly. But ultimately, this digging, like, washing thing that's kind of tedious and grindy, it goes away. Like, ultimately, we're going to automate this. So all we got to do is turn on a switch somewhere, and that's about it, and it runs. So it does get better. This is just the barrier to entry if you're playing in, you know, just a normal game. So yeah, no worries. There are mods for this, I believe, that, you know, tweak things or add more content or whatever. So there is like a pretty large community for this game. So if you're looking for something that has a decent amount of players that can help you, if you have questions, that exists as well. Anyway, so we got a shard crystal, which is actually pretty good. I am going to take that out of the bucket though, because you can't sell the raw shard crystals. Like these, you have to smelt into a bar. So I'm just going to drop him right there. We're going to bring our bucket boy down here. And we'll do one more bucket, and then we'll go take that to sell, and we'll probably call it there for today. Basically, what we're going to do in between this episode and the next one is we're going to gather up the money and the tools that we need in order to build the bedrock level mine, and that will be episode 2, is showing you how to set that up and all that. So let's go take this up. So as far as selling is concerned, there's kind of 2 ways you can sell. There's stock markets within the game, which have been reworked in one of the more recent updates, so they reflect more real-time things. So like if we had gold bars or iron bars, we could sell them here. Same with gems or rings, I think that is kind of what it looks like. There's a shop back here as well, so we can buy like spanners, we can buy filters, and that kind of stuff, so that's pretty good. But if you don't want to mess with the stock market thing, which it's not really worth it until you're able to, like, you need to have a smelter, you need to have an anvil, and a blacksmith hammer before I'd even bother with that, because you want to be able to craft items. So we got $109 out of that first little harvest, so take our bucket, drop it there, so it sold all the items. It does keep your pan for you, so like it won't sell the pan, which is nice. Put your coins inside of it so you can just make one trip. That little pro tip, if you're new to the inventory management, you might be wondering, well, I don't want to make a million trips to move stuff. How do I move stuff faster? So this is the other shop. So this is like the starter shop. It has most of the basic stuff inside of it. There aren't like conveyor belts and things, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You have to go to the other town to get that. So I want to get an intake water pipe for sure. I want to get a water pipe valve for sure. We're at what, 58? I'm going to need an elbow. And then I'm going to need a bunch of straight pipe. We're already at 102 and we've got 109. So that's all we can afford right now. So I'm going to put this back. Or actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave this here because I'm going to need more straight pipe than just that one piece in order to make this work. Because basically what I'm going to do is take that intake pipe, put it in the water, put the valve on. Well, we'll show it in the next episode. But anyway, we made $109 off of about 10 minutes worth of digging and that kind of stuff. Maybe a little less. We were able to buy our intake pipe, our valve, one straight pipe, and one elbow with that 109 and still have 7 left over. So we could buy a wood foundation, which I'm going to do right now because I can use that to help. As we dig down, we can build a staircase. So I'm going to bring this back over. I'm going to have to go get that pan as well. It's just I can't move a foundation in a pan at the same time. I could if I loaded up the hydro truck, but it's not worth it for this short of a walk. So I didn't. Anyway, guys, so this is my intro to Hydroneer. That's how you kind of do, this is what you kind of do in the early game. You dig dirt from your little plot, you fill up your bucket, put that dirt in the pan with water in it, use your brush, brush it up, and then go take what comes out of that dirt that you brushed to the jeweler's store up there or to one of the stock markets and sell it. After you sell it, you buy some things to try to automate more of your process as far as the refining is concerned and go from there. But guys, if you enjoyed the episode today and are interested in more gaming content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out the other playlists that I have as well. In addition, drop a comment and a like down below. Let me know what you're thinking of Hydroneer, if there's something in particular you want me to cover, and so forth. And with that, we also have a poll that I'm going to start. It should be in this episode, if not the next episode, that's going to ask what type of gaming content you want to see. So if you haven't already, please respond to that poll. That way I can kind of tailor my content more into what my viewers are interested in seeing and that kind of thing. But in addition, I'm also probably going to run a poll in a few episodes from now on what area we want to expand to, so be sure to respond to that one when it comes as well. That way I can kind of progress the way you want me to progress and show off different things. If you're playing the game alongside, I can go a different path than you or the same path and kind of show you how I would work with the same start. Anyway guys, with that, this has been Lone Debater 7, and until next time, we will see ya.